Hi, I'm Jane Conner-ziser. A lot of people ask me about the brushes in Photoshop, and in this session I'll go over the main brushes that we use for retouching and how to use them. I've opened up the brush presets, and the first thing that I like to set up is the options on how I wish to view them. This is the default, which is the stroke thumbnail that gives you an icon of the brush and some information about the behavior of the brush. I find this is a little bit difficult for me to scroll through. It's nice for visualizing the brushes initially, but I generally will change this preference to view them in small thumbnails because this way I can see the brushes a little bit more clearly. In doing so, the top row of brushes here is displayed for you in 3 sets of 2 brushes. Each set consists of a fully feathered brush and a hard edge brush, and they are grouped according to how they perform on the canvas. Let's check them out and see how they work. The first brush, the one on the upper left here, is the brush that you'll use for 90% of everything that you do in retouching. Let's choose a color with it, and we'll come up with a nice big brush here so you can see how it works. This brush has no no hardness at all to it, and it has no shape dynamics, which means that it doesn't change according to the pressure that you apply with your stylus on the tablet. So I can make a mark with this brush, and you'll see that it makes the same width and opacity of mark from top to bottom with no variance in width. The second brush next to it is the same brush, only it has no feathering, so the edges will be very sharp. The second set of brushes will have size relative to the pressure that you apply with your hand. So if I press with very little pressure, you'll see I have a thin, small brush, and as I increase my pressure, the brush gets larger, and as I release the pressure, it gets smaller again. Its companion brush is the same brush without the soft edge. The third set of brushes is opacity to pressure. The size of the brush or the width of the stroke will not change, but the stroke will become more or less opaque according to the pressure that you apply with the pen to the tablet. Its companion brush as well is the same brush, just without the feathering on the edges. So when you're doing the retouching on your images, 95% of the time you'll probably be using this number 1 retouching brush. It's just a plain simple stroke. When you need to make eyelashes or hair or adjust layer masks that have hair on them, you might choose this third brush from the left, the feathered brush that has size for shape dynamics. It's perfect for making little hairs and things like that. So that's the way they're set up. You've got your plain retouching brushes here in the set. You've got the ones that have the shape dynamics for size and pressure, and then the ones that have opacity to pressure. Again, the first brush is the one that you use for most all of your retouching, and the third brush for eyelashes and hair. Thanks for joining me on this session on the retouching brushes in Photoshop.